am having to manually reconnect my auxiliary hard drive because the system is not reading the drive on boot up. And what I've had to do is I've had to unplug the SATA cable and plug it back in order to read the drive. Now, as you can see here, the drive's health, according to Hard Drive Sentinel, is excellent, and there are no issues with it. So that leaves the motherboard. I'm going to restart the system. And this is Windows 7 Professional. The system cannot be updated to Windows 10 because the motherboard drivers for the USB controller don't work. If I updated, it would turn off the USB ports and they wouldn't respond. Okay. Now this problem only started presenting itself a few days back. As you can see, it's still only detecting the single drive. So what I'm going to try and do next is I'm going to move the SATA port on the motherboard to a different SATA port and see if that fixes it. I do have the latest chipset drivers installed. I could try reinstalling the microtrend or whatever it was USB drivers, but or SATA drivers, but I don't think those are an issue because everything was updated to the latest updates back when the motherboard was installed, and there hasn't been any new updates issued by asus for the sabertooth 990FX board, and it still has 3 years left on its warranty, so I really don't want to have to go and buy a new FX motherboard. Those things are pretty spendy, and if this one died, and regrettably this sits than 190 hours of runtime on it, actual use. It's been powered on off and on for periods for updates and things like that, but actual, in use about 190 hours, and that was because I was waiting for about a week for a new video card for my main system, and so that was to the extent that this system has been actually put through the grinder. It's just an auxiliary system, and the only reason I turned it on recently was so that I could do the Windows 10 update, figuring that this one doesn't have much on the C drive, which is an SSD, and sure enough, that's when I started having problems. First, what started off is it wouldn't detect my mouse, which is a Corsair M60. I had to unplug it and plug it back in. It still wouldn't detect it, so it's like the USB port was turned off or the mouse was conflicting with it. And I have the latest Corsair drivers installed, so there shouldn't have been a problem there. And additionally, when I plugged in an auxiliary mouse, the system crashed. So, and then I played hell for a couple of hours getting it to reboot to Windows, and ever since then I've had nothing but problems as far as it detecting the secondary drive and stuff. And it's not an OS issue. It's definitely more along the lines of a hardware issue. First I thought it was a bad, master drive, which is a PNY SSD 240 gig, and because I couldn't get it to read for a long time, so I RMA'd it, and just on a whim it started working again. I can't explain it, but I will RMA it out. I've already ordered a replacement for it, another PNY, and I gotta go pick it up tomorrow, along with I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the CPU in this from a 4100 to a 6300, so hopefully that'll solve some performance issues. Anywho, I guess I'll have to manually remount the drive again. Thanks for watching.